And it's still, you now went ahead, the money that came out from that unfrozen money into Zekome's money, you went ahead to freeze the same money from Zekome. That means you have, first of all, disregarded the initial court order that unfroze Fayoshe's account, and again, you have now also breached Ozekome's right to his private earnings.
Does all of these cases make the prosecuting agencies of government look rather disorganized?
Absolutely. I would not want to, like I said, it is better that I bring out this analysis and let the viewer or whoever is listening make an objective analysis and draw their inferences.
Many Nigerians will want President Muhammadu Buhari to be successful in the anti-corruption war. But again, no one, I guess, will want any innocent citizen of Nigeria to be unlawfully or unfairly treated in all of these cases. And when the federal government lost these 3 cases, it became something that drew our attention here, and we want to probe into all of these cases. Just a moment. Let me quickly ask this question. Let me throw this question to Chief Obla. The Vice President met heads of prosecuting agencies in Abuja at a villa on Thursday. Could this be a sort of a strategy meeting, knowing full well that there's a major problem in terms of prosecution in some of these corruption cases?
I would not agree with you that there's a major problem. I have told you that some of these errors are excusable, and you cannot carry out a war, against corruption without expecting everything to go smoothly. Some mistakes will be made, and so forth and so on. Well, the meeting was just to reassess, a reassessment exercise, in the war against corruption among the prosecuting agencies. So there's something unusual, and I'm happy that my learned friend has told you that losing of cases is normal, except you're not a lawyer. If you are a lawyer, you will not lose sleep because you have lost a matter. In the court of trial, where we have 2 other courts to go to. So it is not unusual. I don't know why there is so much consternation, because 3 matters were lost. And we are going on appeal, so you have to wait until these matters are considered by the Court of Appeal, by the Supreme Court. So let us not jump the gun. Let us not be hysterical because 3 cases were lost. If you have 20 cases or 40 cases, then 3 are lost, and then we become hysterical. We cannot become hysterical. We will go back to the drawing board and ensure that the Court of Appeal revises these rulings or judgments. As simple as that. If there are no good grounds of appeal, we'll concede. I mean, that is integrity, just like we did in the case against Urubebe, because we got documents from the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs that no money was lost, that no money was embezzled. And the AG has to invoke his powers to withdraw the charge. So nobody has been oppressed.
It looks simple to you, Chief Obla, isn't it? And I'm glad that you're a lawyer. And with the little, I might be a legal, legal ignorance here, but isn't it obvious that someone you took to court, you took to the media, and you prosecuted, and in the middle of the game you say, oh, you discover that something is wrong? Isn't it hysterical? You've used that word in the first place.
We never took anybody to the media. The media go out of their way to report stories in consonance with the right of freedom of opinion, expression, information of Nigerians. Nobody has taken anybody to the media. Otherwise, you should stop going to the courts to report proceedings or to report arrest of EFCC. So this so-called media trial is nonsensical.
Because I mean, it does not look like, should the media now take you seriously? Because one does not know which of the next case that the federal government, the Attorney General, we get to the middle of the river and say, oh, we are no longer prosecuting this case. It does look like so.
why there is a constitutional provision that says the Attorney General can discontinue any criminal proceedings before any court of law in Nigeria in respect of an offense created by an act of the National Assembly in the interest of justice, on the need to prevent abuse of the court process, and so forth and so on. So
okay.
There's something wrong with that.
Let me quickly throw this to you before we go on another break. Serap is asking the president to refer high-profile corruption cases to the International Criminal Court. Will the president consider this?
I do not know if our own national institutions have failed. They have not failed. We still have convictions. We are still having convictions. Last week, somebody was convicted and sentenced to 104 years imprisonment for fuel subsidy fraud. So why are we going to surrender our sovereignty to the International Criminal Court of Justice? I think that is there's some ignorance there. Because if you go to the international forum, you have to establish that our national institutions have failed. And there is no evidence that our national institutions have failed. We are still having convictions. A governor was convicted for the first time in the history of Nigeria by a Nigerian court in Ademola. So what are we talking about?
We're taking the moment, and when we return, Chief Obla is still here, Mr. Kechukwu is here. We'll be digging more into this matter, and I guess you are having a lot of questions. I'll take some of them when we return. Join us again.